don't recognize you guys.
One of our companions has left us a carriage with 2 horses. It should be by the name under Anna or Anna.
Oh yes, she came by the other day and said that you guys might be coming to pick this up. She said that it's an interesting bunch of people. Very nice though. So I that kind of fits the description of you guys. If you'll just sign this paperwork here, we can get your carriage pulled out to the front, and the horses have been taken care of. And we repaired a couple of the small repairs on the cart she told us to repair. So.
Do we owe anything for these repairs? If anybody objects, I can sign the paperwork, or anyone else.
Go right ahead.
No, you don't owe anything. It was all taken. She took care of all of it for you. She just said that whenever you come to pick it up, make sure that it's ready and make sure that everything's tip-top shape. I
Excellent.
think her exact words were ship shape, but it's not a ship, so I just did the best I could.
It is
Well
much
done.
appreciated. Is horse feed included with the carriage upon delivery, or do we need to purchase that as well?
She left a little bit in the back of the carriage. Should last you about 3 days. If you need a little bit more, I can always throw a little bit more back there for you. She was very nice to help us with some of the things that we needed around here.
Some additional days worth would be appreciated, and we will offer to pay if necessary.
I mean, not necessary, but I can throw a couple more days in there. Like I said, she was really nice, and she left us. She helped us get back on our feet a little bit.
Most gracious of you.
Yeah, we'll let her know that it was delivered, that the carriage was delivered along with the 2 horses, and that everything's good. As long as you guys look over it and make sure that there's not anything that you want to change. I can always make some quick changes. Painting takes a little bit longer, but
The lamp's oiled.
Lamps oil. Crap! I knew there was something I was forgetting. Give me 1 minute. I can get that taken care of. Sorry. But yeah. She's kind of she kind of put a little bit of money in the place to help us get along. So she's one of our benefactors now. Very grateful. Very nice lady.
We have who's got the highest animal handling?
Mine's 8.
Mine's not 8.
Plus 8.
Cinda, would you check the tack, please?
Certainly. Roll for animal handling, I guess.
Sure.
Ooh. 12.
Looking over the horses, looking over their tack and the straps and everything, and they strap them into the carriage and everything. It looks like it's pretty new. New leathers, new shoes. The hair's been brushed and cleaned. Looks like they've been almost at like a day spa. They seem very relaxed and ready for a trip.
Everything looks good to me, from what I can tell. I think these horses have been well looked after. Everything looks good to me, from what I can tell.
Excellent.
Horses have been well looked after.
Yeah. Oh well, you're welcome. Lamp oil. Just 1 minute, and he runs and grabs a small little canteen with a little nozzle on it, and he runs inside and just a couple of them on the outside, and he's like, all oiled up. You're good to go.
Thank you. On top of spaghetti, a magpie did sneeze.
She did have us do one small modification to the top. She added a metal bar. She didn't say what it was for, but that makes sense. I was wondering, because it's not like it's a ramrod or anything. It sticks straight up.
A pouch for me.
I don't know. It goes up and then kind of curves over. I don't know. I didn't ask questions. She just said she wanted a metal bar that went up and over. I said okay.
As he said, his perch.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Well, horses are well fed. They should be good for the day if you are traveling out. And yes, over here at the side, and he opens up a little small side compartment. There's more feed and things like that. And he says, on this side, and he pops open this one. There's plenty of storage and things for anything that you may need. And she said to leave you this, and he hands you this golden key in the shape of, with a heart as the top of the key. I don't know what it goes to. I'm sure that you can figure it out. She told
Cinder,
me just to give this to you.
that reminds me, Cinder, here is half of our pay. The other half we will receive in New Vegas.
To Morium. Who's logging our group stuff, right?
Are
So
you
yeah,
sure you trust him with the money?
He hasn't led us astray yet.
So
He
it's
has a
a
lot of
pouch of
armor under that
150
shell.
gold.
He has a lot of armor under that shell.
What better place to keep a bunch of valuables than underneath the shell of a turtle that has AC of 24?
I just had a fancy of beating him like a pinata until the
Good luck
coins
hitting
come
him.
out.
Yeah. More him starting his own bank and trust. Screw Fort Knox. Fort Moriam's locked up tighter. But you give him a couple of hand pies, he might talk. But yes, carriage is ready, and as you kind of pull off from the stables and head out down the path a little bit, as you get around the corner, you see another carriage there with two guys sitting on top and one guy on the back. Very unassuming looking carriage, covered wagon type. But go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Everybody?
Yeah, everybody can roll one.
At 20.
Ooh.
14.
23. All right, Magpie, you're looking over the carriage and things, and you see that it looks like a carriage. Looks pretty unassuming. Just looks like it's like some type of travelers. Doesn't really look like there's much there. Cinder, upon closer inspection of the people on the carriage, you can tell that there are weapons on these people. You're looking at them, and they look like they're just random merchants or travelers, but upon a little bit closer inspection, you can start seeing a little bit of armor, or a little bit of silver of a sword or a dagger or something like that. Moriam and Ankara, as you're looking through, and you kind of start seeing a little bit of a waviness to the carriage. With your magical expertise and things like that, you can tell that there is some type of illusion put on this carriage to make it look just basic. You don't know what it looks like underneath the illusion, but you can tell that there's something there. Only reason you can tell is because of very high rolls.
I'll hop down from my perch. Which one of you is the boss?
Can I help you? We're just local farmers heading out towards the desert.
I have a contract from a mutual friend of ours.
Contracts. We don't know anything about contracts. Like I said, we're just random travelers.
I see. We will be accompanying you on your trip to New Vegas.
accompanying, do you have anything to prove that you are who you say you are, or
And I show him the signed contract from Mr. McGregor.
I
he
nudge,
looks over?
I nudge whoever's around me and kind of discreetly point, like with my eyes a little.
Yeah, and as Magpie's over there talking to the guy on the back of it, you see the other guy's like hands just kind of resting on their hips, just kind of sitting there listening but still facing forward. And he looks over and he goes, "All right, Jim, they're with us. Let's head out." And
I fold the contract back up and stick it inside my armor.
all right, for all intents and purposes, he's looking dead in Magpie's eyes. For all intents and purposes, you're not with us. You don't know us. You just happen to be traveling the same way. If anything happens, we expect you to jump in. We will protect with our lives, as I hope you would do the same. And as far as the contract goes, contracts are all well and good, but if we're all dead, ain't nobody making any money.
Of course, we are professionals.
All right, I expect us to keep it that way. No funny business, no hanky panky, none of that between the sheets.
Biz is
As,
biz.
as he jumps back on the back of the cart and pulls out a lute and starts playing. And he's just sitting there, just kind of diddling along. Ankara, you would know this song as a song of the elves. And he's just life traveling down the road and just a standard traveling song.
Are they all human?
I'll take to air patrol.
The one that you can see that's on the back is a human.
Mm-hmm.
Upon closer inspection of the other two, you didn't get too good of a look on them, and that was on purpose. They kind of kept their faces and things kind of shielded a little bit, kind of hunched over and just kind of. One of them does look bigger than the other, sizably bigger. And one of them kind of looks small and a little bit more puny and scrawny. And then the human just looks like a human. Looks kind of nice actually.
Or a human.
Little, someone would say elegant in a way.
The nicer
Um,
they look, the more money they carry.
hmm. um, and they whip on their reins, and you guys give them a beat, or do you just start following?
We'll just,
You're flying.
yeah, I'm flying, so you guys do what you guys are gonna do.
I assume that Cinder's going to be leading the horses with the more in tune to nature and animals that she is. But I think maybe a little distance, but not a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
A few carriage distance.
Okay, so I'd say probably about uh, what count count here. That's them. Give you guys like about that far. That'd be 10, 20, 30, 30-ish feet behind.
Yeah,
30 to 45.
stay within eyesight.
Yeah. Keeping them in eyesight, getting a little bit closer if they go around a bend or something like that to make sure. But
Mm-hmm.
sounds good.
Close enough that you can see hand signals.
Yep. And Magpie, you're flying around like
Mm-hmm.
a bat out of hell.
Nah, just kind of loitering like a hawk looking for prey.
All right. So you guys embark off on this journey back towards New Vegas. The sun is high. Um, nice breeze blowing by. A little warm, but you guys been in the desert for a while, so you're kind of used to the warmth. Um, Everything looks nice and clear as far as the outside perspective goes. No sandstorms or anything like that blowing in. And you guys are making headway. You know that it'll take you about 4 days of travel. It'll take you 12 days of travel, but 4 traveling rolls. Um, And so on the first leg of the journey, who wants to roll the first d20? Magpie rolls first. He raised his hand instead of nose, so I'll let Magpie roll the first 20.
11.
All right. With an 11, you guys journey along your way, keeping a nice pace and distance between you and the other carriage. And this first leg of the journey goes by pretty well. You see that carriage kind of pulling off over to the side, kind of off the beaten path. Do you follow them, or do you make camp outside the radius? All right.
Always safer in numbers. Camping is safer in numbers.
All right. As you guys veer off the path and you're kind of looking around, you notice that it looks kind of familiar. Looks like you've been this way a little bit before. A couple of rocks here and there. And you guys all pull up, and this is your
Watering hole.
yeah. And so there's you guys' carriage, party carriage, and payload. Um, the payload pulls forward, and you see a couple of people come out, and they kind of pull it off into the shrubbery and things around the area. And then around from the other side of the plant, you see a couple of people walk out. Tokens for those couple of people go. Oh, jeez, honest God.
The party carriage.
Jameis is gone. Gone. Who am I missing? Okay. All right. And as they pull the payload off the side of the road and kind of into the shrubbery, it kind of just blends in with the shrubbery around it and kind of disappears. And from the other side of the thing, you see three people come down to the watering hole. And start drinking and start getting some things together for a camp as you guys are pulling up.
These are like strange people, right? We don't know them from the other caravan.
The only one that you would have seen would be this gentleman here. That was the guy on the back that was playing the lute. But the other
Let,
two, you haven't really seen their faces or anything yet. A bigger one and a smaller one.
our understanding is let them do what they will do. Keep contact to a minimum.
Drew, that
Right. So, you guys making camp or staying in the carriage or?
I'd say we could make camp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay watch just because we are in charge of like watching over them. I'll stay on the outside of the carriage and I'll just make it like I'm tuning my lute and tuning my instruments, but keeping an eye on that, making sure they're safe, but not with them.
Okay. You guys make a small camp area. It's not too weird to see multiple people camping in the same area, especially around this area because this is a known like watering spot. And so you guys make yourself a small, unassuming camp, little fire and things, and they build a small tent covered in leaves and things to kind of blend in with the surroundings. This area right here, and so as you guys are looking around, it all kind of blends in and looks like they've done this a time or two. Um, and if you didn't know what you were looking for, you might not even see it. But how are we doing watches? 3 watches or
I can take last watch.
I'll
okay?
take mid watch.
I'll take the first watch,
All
whether we
right.
do 2 or 3.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, Morium, you snoozing? So 1, 2, 3, Morium, you snoozing?
I can watch with you.
All right. These two kind of walk off into the bushes and, for all intents and purposes, disappear. This guy's kind of still sitting out by the watering hole a little bit, just kind of, you can see a little shine every once in a while. You know that there is somebody sitting out with you on watch. And on the first watch, Moriam and Ankara, perception checks. Who wants to roll what? Oh,
I'll do his perception check. 29.
Moriam, you making a check as well? Fair enough. We'll just say that you helped. All right, go ahead and roll again just to see. I mean, you already got a 19, but just to see.
Not as good. 18.
Not as good, but
we'll stick with the
still, even
first
with
one.
that plus 10, wow.
Not as good. 18.
All right, so with the 29, okay. You guys are just hanging out, playing tunes around your small little campfire next to the carriage. And as you're playing tunes, you hear the lute cue up, adding a little bit more ambiance to the area. My DM screen go. He's disappeared.
Well,
Oh, that's not even what I wanted.
Okay, sorry. I'll be quiet now.
Oh, you're fine. But yeah, as you guys are kind of playing, another medley kind of blends in along with you, and that's kind of nice. You guys definitely see him in the bushes. With that roll, you can tell that he's sitting there and kind of looking over at you.
I'll give him a nod if I do catch him looking over and like raise the lute, just like a nice little bardic salute, like you're doing a good job.
Yeah, and the first watch goes without any incident. Nice melody in the air, nice tune to fall asleep to.
Oh, this is good.
And as the second watch comes upon you, you see him duck back off into the makeshift ghillie tent, and see another figure. This one's all kind of covered. It kind of steps out, kind of stretches a little bit, but covered from head to toe. You can't see a skin on it. And it just kind of wisps away into the darkness. Second watch, you guys wake up Magpie.
Mm-hmm.
And Magpie is gonna take his watch. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I'll assist.
Good.
Aren't you going to bed?
You're going to sleep.
Or are you
aren't you?
staying up for second watch?
I'm
too?
gonna stay out for second watch too, because I can just catch a couple Z's while we're on the road. And I've had the benefits of a long rest, so I'm all right to make sure that we get the payload to New Vegas.
Okay, that was
All
a
right.
17
Fair
with
enough.
it.
All right, 17 with advantage. Now, staying up for only getting a short rest, the chances of exhaustion over time, depending on how long things go and things, can happen. Depending on what happens and things. With 17, looking around, Magpie, you're doing your little flight around and things. And looking down in there where the guy was, you don't see shit. It is dark. The dude is gone. You would almost think that you're just alone there at this moment. Besides Ankara, keeping an eye out from the carriage and just kind of looking around, making sure things are happening. As you guys sit there and tuning your instruments and flying around, Magpie, you hear a noise.
All
You can
right.
tell this noise is way off in the distance, though.
Okay, I will increase my altitude and look in the direction of the source.
All right, as you fly up higher and look off into the northeastern direction, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Now, if there's something that you're looking for directly.
Or would that be investigation then?
Investigation is touching, perception is looking.
Okay. That's a 10. Dice
10.
aren't kind yet.
Looking over in that northeastern direction, you heard a big noise, kind of sounded like a big but you don't see anything out there for miles.
I'll come down and tell Ankara.
All right. Letting Ankara know what's happening.
Yes.
Loud noise, northeastern direction, way the fuck over there.
I'll even imitate the noise for her.
Easy enough to do.
Your buddy is coming back for you, Magpie.
I could climb on the top of the carriage and see if maybe my little halfling eyes can see anything. I don't know what else I could do except let the other watch know.
I mean, if you want to do that, go for it. I'll allow it. Want to look? Take a look.
Another 18.
18, looking off in that northeastern direction from on top of the carriage, looking at the sky, looking at the horizon from what you can see. Can't see much. Still only about a 60-foot dark vision, and from there on, it's just shades of black and gray. You don't see any movement or anything, though. So whatever it is isn't close yet.
Take note. Let the last watch know.
All right. And as you guys sit there and look around, nothing else happens. Going into the third watch, you would assume that another person comes out to look as well as you wake up Cinder. And Cinder, are you taking this watch alone?
Assuming.
All right. The other two bed down, and as you're sitting there, as you're getting everything ready and getting your little area together, little flower here and a little thing there, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
20.
20. All right. As you're sitting there and you're getting your little cozy area ready and start getting some of your spices and things ready to make a nice breakfast, you see somebody walk over from down the hill a little bit. He walks over and goes, you hear about the noise?
Yes, we did.
You're asleep. Unless
Oh,
you stayed up.
no, no, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, he comes over to
Oh,
Cinder and goes,
something in the northeast.
I've heard noises like that before. Never good.
And
Normally big bird. Big
mm,
bird. Um, you see it come around, um, let me know. Just stay low. It'll pass. Normally they don't attack unless any crazy sudden movements or flashes happen.
I'll
You
keep that
don't.
in mind.
All right. Well, good watch to you. And he walks back off down the way. You get a look at his face, and you can see the ogre-like orc, or yeah, orc-like features. The greenish skin, the kind of roundish face, but his hair is tied up in a top knot. Um, Pretty clean shaven, and he walks back down and kind of sinks into the shadows. Um, as you're sitting there and kind of looking around and getting your things ready for a nice, delicious breakfast, nothing else happens. The morning comes. You see the sun kind of come up over the horizon, and the morning is yours.
I'm
What
gonna
does
cook a
Cinder do
breakfast.
first thing? Cooking
Well,
breakfast.
I'm gonna wake everybody with the delicious smell of a breakfast omelet.
Mm.
Omelets. Good choice.
Let me just make sure I've got the correct
Oh,
details.
of birdseed.
Cook treats, cook
Oh,
special.
very
Never considered that that might be something that you would have to worry about, but I guess that makes sense.
Mm, is what it is.
All right, as Cinder wakes everybody up with the smell of omelets and cooking those nice things up, Magpie, you kind of wake up and reach in and start munching yourself on some bird seed. Everybody else comes out to the smell of fresh omelets being made.
Mm.
Pretty decent smelling ones as well, with some of the nice spices and herbs and things. You're sitting there and munching along. Um, the orc from the night before, Cinder, comes up and goes, I see you guys are traveling along over here. You mind if we join you for some breakfast?
Come on over.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, let me let my traveling buddies know, and we'll be over here in just a minute. We'll bring something along. You know, don't like to show up empty-handed. Haha. And he walks off and goes and grabs the others.
Do we all notice his facial features and his race?
Yeah, you do notice that he's right now. He just kind of looks a little shaggy, but you do see the orcish features to him.
What do you think we should trust these fellers, or I have a +8 to insight if you think that'll help?
Biz is biz.
Well,
These guys, these guys are hired muscle for their cargo. They're paid to do the job, protect the cargo, just as we are.
Very true.
You can keep them, at a distance, and you don't have to trust everything that they do. But we're forced to work with them. May as well be kind
Better
while
to
they're in our
be
charge.
polite. Mercenaries will remember those who are polite to them in the biz.
True, true.
About that time, you see the orc and the human walk over. Yeah, this is my brother, Jerry. I'm Derek. Nice to meet you guys. Um, yeah, looks like we had some pretty nice weather. Kind of glad we ran into you guys. We have some fresh fish. If anybody would like some fish, cooked it up just this morning.
Fish. I will partake.
Oh, yes. The avian fella. Nice to
Hmm.
meet you. Name's Derek.
Pleased to meet you too.
Oh, well. So, what brings you around these parts? You guys heading off towards lands of opportunity and grandeur and all those fun things?
Going to
Mostly we either hunt weird shit or get hunted by weird shit.
Yep.
Weird shit happens. No, we're just we're traveling up towards uh we heard of this place. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. It's this place called Vegas.
New
We
Vegas.
heard we can go do some gambling and
Mm,
have a good time. Maybe sell some stuff that we pick up along the way or something.
a
They're just kind of
little rough.
looking around.
The town's a little rougher than whatever this place was that we were just in.
Roswell 50.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, we passed through there a couple of days ago. All right, I think we're good. Trying to make sure nobody else is around here. But we smelled the omelets and they smelled really good, so we wanted to come and get some. Our brother staying, the other guy staying with the carriage, but we got to keep up appearances just in case somebody is watching. Um, don't worry, he is watching, but he's but yeah, omelets.
Watch.
The human walks up and goes, "Man, those smell really good. Got a knack for talent, I see." Oh, very nice, very nice. And you're not too bad on that thing yourself there. How long you been playing?
Cinder, insight check that one.
I think I will.
I'll chat it up with the human while they're doing their insighty things, and I've been playing since I was a wee little lass, and about 10, 20 years now.
Pretty good with that thing. You ever do any gigs or anything?
We did a couple gigs at the Ruby Seal when we were in town.
The Ruby Seal. I've never been there. But I mean, hey, if you can make money with it, why not? With your insight check, looking into this guy, you can tell he is very charismatic. His charisma is shielding things. You can tell, especially with the 23, that he's still putting on some type of front, even though everybody else is kind of more lax and eating. But you can tell that there's an eloquence about him.
I relay that to the to Magpie for sure. I'm not sure if Moriam's listening.
Always.
A shifty fuck can spot a shifty fuck.
He looks really nice. Chiseled features, hair's perfect, skin is flawless. The robes and things, though they look tattered, you can tell that they're really nice robes. He doesn't just go out without some type of flash.
Handsome devil, isn't he?
We brought some fish over. smelt eggs, fish and eggs kind of works together, um, we'll eat some breakfast and we'll head out of here. The orc, it's like, sit down and eat your food. Kind
If
of
we
leans over.
question for the two of you, just for ease of doing the watches and guards and such. If we need to call on you, if there is something the matter on a watch, is there any sort of call sign or anything that we could refer to you, Jerry and Derek, your friend as well?
You scream, we'll figure out what's going on.
I
That
Nice and
works for
simple.
you. If you hear us scream, probably something going on.
Sounds good.
We don't really do call signs and things. Those are for amateurs. I mean, no offense. I think call signs pretty cool. Spencer plays with the lute a little bit, and you hear a doom 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 doom. I like to do that one every once in a while. He kind of leans over and takes a bite of his omelet, and kind of sitting there smiling. The orc's just shaking his head like, freaking God, what's going on here?
Delicious. How much is loot worth?
How much is what worth?
Your loot.
Oh, this old thing? It's only worth to someone who can use it.
I can use it.
Good luck, bud. Anyway, then he kind of leans over to the orc and whispers something real quick. All right. As you guys finish up your food and get everything, start packing up, they're like,
oh. Those that partook in omelet get 4 temporary hit points.
Thank you, Cinder.
Well, the two stand up and they're like, oh, well, thank y'all so much for your hospitality. We're going to hit the road. Maybe we'll see you on the road sometime again. Keep playing that thing. You're really good at it. And the human kind of walks off, and the orc just kind of looks at you guys, gives you guys a knowing nod, and kind of walks back down the path, down towards the water.
When they go, I'll let the party know that they've changed names already. Just to let you know. One was Jim. His name is now Jerry. Just FYI.
That's good to know.
Threat, perhaps?
They're definitely up to something.
Hiding their identities if they're carrying something in that illusion carriage. Then maybe they're trying to hide who they are too. I think they could be part of the thieves'
carriage is cargo we're all trying to protect.
Keep it civil, keep it polite. I don't mind, and aliases are aliases, but just so that you all know.
If they go off script, we zero them.
We could knock them, or talk to them. I wouldn't say turn on them.
They're mercenaries.
That does seem a little bit harsh, no?
They would do the same to us, especially if they're dirty.
Okay.
Did anyone get a good beat on that guy? I kind of tried to schmooze him a little bit. Did anyone get any?
Well, the one very, very charismatic. He's but he's hiding something.
I'm interested in that loot that he's carrying too. He said it's only useful
to smash it.
Magpie was inquiring about it.
I'll keep playing while we're on the road, and we'll just make it to our destination as safe as possible.
Magpie will keep eye on them from there.
Okay. Detect magic as well. If we're concerned.
maybe closer to town if something goes awry.
Make it covert.
I'll play a little dumber for them so that you guys, your higher intelligences and such, can get a good scoop on them if we need.
This is good. Keep close watch on them because they may be doing something nefarious. I actually agree with Meg by this one.
I'll also let the party know about the mystery gentleman who has not been given a name. How he was able to like wisp away in the darkness as well, go completely out of sight, blend in kind of thing, and that we have no idea what race he is.
All right. About that time, Magpie, you hear in your head, "We're heading out," and you see the carriage already on the road, kind of moving already. You guys have already packed up your things, and you're just kind of talking and waiting for some type of signal of moving.
I'm good to go when they are.
Yep, I'll head up and keep an eye on things.
Alrighty. You guys
Maybe
get
we
back
should
in your
have
carriage?
maybe we should, the four of us should have a secret signal of some kind, like an owl hoot or something, if something goes awry.
3 barn, 2 snowy. That also works. Nice and simple.
Okay, cacao works.
Cause and effect.
I didn't know you guys speak bird.
Just the one.
Cacaw, indeed.
Just the one word. All right. As you guys get all loaded up and stuff,
tell you someday what it means.
you let the carriage fade off a little bit, staying in eyesight, keeping your distance, and crack the whips, and you head on through. Who's making a second day of travel check?
I can do it this time.
Yes.
All right.
Just a straight D20. 18. I favored 18. That's my third 18 today.
Nice. All right. Well, you guys travel along for a little bit, and as you're riding along, the road starts to feel a little bumpy. You start feeling a rumbling of sorts underneath your tires, and you guys are going along, and you feel another underneath the tires, and keep on going on a little bit. Another, this one a little bit more prominent underneath the ground as you're driving along.
Is the other carriage noticing anything? Do we notice them rumbling as well?
You notice that it's all kind of happening in the same area. You can see the carriage is kind of bumping around in front. You can tell that the guy on the back is just kind of holding on a little bit tighter and kind of jarring every once in a while. You can tell that it's affecting them as well.
Like a bad road situation.
Well, if it's happening, like it's rumbling like that, it's like an earthquake situation.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is it like, yeah.
Yeah. Do I see anything from the air?
Go and roll a perception check.
Maybe we should cacaw?
15.
15. Looking around, you don't notice anything directly at the moment. You can see the rocks and things on the ground kind of shaking, and you can see them getting more frequent shaking.
I'll ask the group. Should we ask the other carriage if they're if we maybe we should rest for a bit and investigate what's going on before we continue. These rumbles seem more frequent.
That's a good idea. Maybe we should just sort of flag them down.
I could send a few dancing lights down that way until they dissipate towards the carriage.
Good. Okay.
So you're sending dancing lights, Magpie. You see the dancing lights as they trail off from the carriage, knowing that there's definitely something going on. And as you're scanning around the area, looking more intensely, looking for some type of big critter or creature, you start seeing the sand move, start to mound up a little bit as you're looking, and the dancing lights are going out, and the guy on the back is holding on, and he's kind of looking, and all of a sudden you hear a "Oh shit!" as out of the sand, this giant
Sandworm.
out of
I hope not.
out of the sand.
Sandworms
Carriage
worm.
here, and 5, 10, 15, 30. Right about there. Yeah, we'll make these a little bit bigger.
I
10
help.
foot.
I make bigger for you.
Okay. 10. Alright, so yeah. As your dancing light kind of dances across out of the sand, you see this giant sandworm go up and swallow the light and go back into the stand. As your dancing light, you feel the connection disappear from you.
Which caravan?
The
is
other
ours?
guy, this is Party back here. Party. Oops, moving it.
Caw.
I'm moving.
Cook.
Payload.
50.
Yeah, it comes from the side, jumps up, back into the sand, and Magpie, you see the sand moving over in this direction.
All
Over
right.
here.
I'm going to permission to Eldritch Blast the heck out of it.
All right. As the sand, before that happens, as the sand is kind of starting to move, you see the payload just spin and stop. And you see the two guys on the front jump down. You see, oh, sorry. You see the guy from the back jump off in mid spin and land as they all kind of stop and stand in the middle of the road.
Is there little brush fires or brush places over here?
There is little foliage here and there. That's what these kind of signify, kind of in the area there.
Perfect.
And then cactuses and little bushes here and there. Magpie wants to Eldritch Blast. This thing does know that you guys are already there. I will let you guys prepare whatever you want to prepare, and I'll place your tokens to let you. You guys are all kind of in that, and Ankara is there. These aren't the tokens that you guys have, but I'll let you place your tokens on the board. But yeah, you guys are in there. Magpie's flying around somewhere over here.
I am going to light this bush on fire.
All right, cactus is on fire. All of a sudden, fire erupts. Magpie, you want to roll to hit?
Yep.
I
Eldritch
might
Blast first shot. Fox 1. That's an 11.
11 is not going to hit.
Fox 2. That's a 13.
13 is not going to hit.
Okay.
Can I send an Eldritch Blast its way as well?
Sure, if you got it, send it. It is on the sand right now.
Oh, it's there. Oh.
Yeah, you can see the sand moving.
13 first one and 18 is the second one.
The 18 will penetrate the sand barrier between it and the worm. Go ahead and roll your damage.
That is a 7 damage.
7 damage.
Not much, but a little.
All right. All right. You see the sand blow up into the air as all these 4 Eldritch Blasts hit, and you think one of them might have connected. But sand is just kind of flown all over the place as you see the backside of the where the sand is kind of piling. You see this hail kind of flop up as that last blast hits. Cinder, what are you doing?
I see them casting. I'm. Oh. Let's just getting bolted.
Go for it.
Let's do that.
It is undercover, so it is a little harder to hit right now.
26 to hit.
26 is gonna
This
hit.
is the first
Okay.
first guiding bolt.
Yes.
Well done.
First guiding bolt worked. That never happens.
If we
Thing
weren't
has
in
full
combat,
cover
I'd
right
high
now
five
because it's
Cinder.
in the sand.
Yeah, 18 points of damage. And the next hit
Alright.
with advantage.
All right, so the sand starts glowing a little bit as you can see the shape of this giant sandworm under the sand glowing through it. The guys in the other carriage are all kind of stand up. The one in the middle is going to. Let's see, what is it going to do? You see it stand there, the wind kind of blowing the tattered cloak behind it. As it takes its hands, goes around in a circle, brings them together, and he disappears. The ogre is going to. Where is he at? The ogre is actually going to run.
Chicken.
5. Or no, this is the human. Crap, I grabbed the wrong token. The ogre is going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 behind this bush. And he is going to attempt to hide. All right. He believes he is hidden. Crap, I didn't mean to erase that part. All right. He believes he is hidden. There. It's no longer that, so that's. All right. What else am I gonna mark that? That would be a. All right. Okay. All right, and the human is going to pull out his lute. He's going to strum his lute, and you see him start levitating up into the air. He goes up about 30 foot. And now everybody roll initiative.
What
11.
What is that, 18? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I did my math right on that.
Perfect.
All right, and let me roll for it. Where's it at? Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's gonna roll. Eight. They all have to roll. He rolls with. Saving throw. Or not their saving throw. Initiative, there it is. Okay. Whew, okay.
I guess we're not going
And
first.
then Whew. Okay. Guy gets a +4. And this guy gets
Plus 12, carry the 4. We're going to die.
Oh, this is all just initiative. Okay, so we have. This is all just initiative. Okay, so we have. Them rolled higher than that, so. Oh, Magpie. Then wait a minute. I'm counting the guiding bolt, not that. Magpie, not Cinder. Magpie first. And then Cinder.
Thank you, Calamity. Hopefully, we have fish. We have been given fish by Calamity.
Oh. And he goes last. Don't know how I rolled so bad. All right, so out of the sky, you see
A mighty fish appears.
The fish.
a mighty fish. Actually, you see coming from the sky, 3 fish flying straight at the creature. For those of you who are magically inclined, out of nowhere, you see 3 magic missiles.
So long, sir.
Missiles.
Thanks for all the fish.
He launched missiles at them.
Yeah, fish isles.
You take Minnow. Minnow.
And 1 more missile. Ooh,
Magic minnow, eh?
max damage. Cool.
You see fish falling from the sky, you hear, hello, ground.
All right.
No,
And
better yet, little piranhas that shoot out.
make sure to write this on here. He's gonna.
Only sick fucks shoot piranhas at people.
All right. Now then, next up will be Morium.
Ooh, okay, perfect. I don't think I can cover that much ground, but I'm gonna do my best.
Considering that doesn't make an attack roll, this thing still does have advantage on the next to hit, because magic missile isn't a to hit roll. So I'm gonna let the
Well then, I'm gonna
guiding
do
bolt
something
carry
that's
over.
also going to not need an attack roll. I'm gonna cast Hold Monster.
Hold monster.
Wisdom saving
What do
throw
I have to
or
roll?
paralyzed for 1 minute.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay.
And then I'm gonna sub off after.
That's gonna be a 10. Natural 15 on the die.
Just DC 7. DC 17. Not a wise creature is what you're saying. So he is paralyzed.
All right. The sand stops moving and the ground goes still. You can still see the glow though.
Okay, I'm going to move to there. And I am... That's where I'm going to stop for right now.
All right. This thing is still under the ground, but you do see the glowing coming from it. Magpie, you are up next, unless Morium has anything else to do.
No, I'm going to hold it up, and I'm going to yell, he's held! As long as I concentrate, he can't move! Get him now!
All right. Can I see him?
Yes,
you
I'm
can see
holding
the
the staff up.
glowing... Yeah, you can see Morium, and you can see the glowing of the worm underneath the sand right now.
Okay,
It is not
I'm
moving,
going
and the sand
to
is neither.
Move 5,
that.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and I am going to cast Mind Spike on it. It must make a wisdom save of 15.
All right, wisdom save of 15, -5 to the die, and that's an 8 on the die.
Okay, he is going to take 3. Let's see here.
3d8 psychic.
4d8.
48, so using a higher spell.
That's 22 points of damage.
22 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
To... All right.
And now I always know exactly where he's at.
All right. Magpie knows where this thing is. And since it's still not an attack roll, it still has advantage on whoever decides to hit it with something that attacks that you have to roll. Next up, Cinder. Oh, wait a minute. Where's Ankara at? Oh,
I think
Ankara's
she's
down there.
at
Okay.
she's 11.
Yep, I see where that is.
It does, so we can't tell if this thing's hurt or not.
It's under the sand. You can't tell how hurt it is.
Okay.
It hasn't had a chance to get out of the sand because it's being held underneath.
Right.
All you can tell is the glow.
Do I know anything about this creature? Would I know anything about a sandworm?
Being from up in Canada, probably not.
Okay. Damn it. I know lots about polar bears.
And moose.
And moose.
And moose.
And honey.
Yes, exactly. Bramble dust honey. It's the best honey that you can get.
And honey and wild, wild women.
I'm gonna move. I think to there.
Of all the
And I'm gonna cast Summon Elemental.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Bring out the big guns. I saw the fish.
All right.
I don't know what's happening. I
believe there's a roll to see what elemental comes out. Am I right or am I wrong?
Okay, so it says you call for an elemental spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range, and it's 90 feet. So this corporeal form, the elemental spirit stat block. When you cast the spell, choose an element: air, earth, fire, or water. This creature resembles a bipedal form wreathed in the chosen element. So,
all right.
Because he's in the sand, I'm going to assume that water would be my best bet. He is a sand worm, not a water worm.
It would make sticky situation.
Or a fire worm. So I'm just going to make that judgment call.
Yep.
So yes, this elemental spirit appears. It looks like a little tornado with a bunch of water swirling around, I guess.
All right. Let me grab you something to signify that. I
Anything
will put this thing.
Anything that's yes, that works marvelously.
It's a medium, so 5 foot.
Now, since I've never cast this before, it shares my initiative count. Fine. It takes its turn immediately after my turn. So my turn was summoning him.
Yes.
Armor
And you can place it wherever you summon it.
Okay, well, we're going to put him like right there. He's going to take... I want him to like beat the hell out of this thing.
Alright.
Hit points 50 plus, okay, fine. He's going to... I don't know how to cast for him or hit for him. I'm going to... Because he's got a lot of strength. I'm assuming he's a fighter type. I think I'm just going to, I guess, roll to hit.
It does show that there's a slam. It makes number of attacks equal to half its spell level. So you're summoning it at what level? 4th?
Oh yeah, there it is. It is level 4th level.
Okay. So it would get 2 attacks because it's half its spell level rounded down.
Yes.
And a slam is 1d10 plus 4. plus the spell's level, bludgeoning damage.
So he doesn't have to
So
hit.
yeah, roll.
To hit.
You do have to roll to hit. What is
Just a
the to hit?
D20.
Oh, it would be your spell attack modifier to hit. So yeah, D20 plus 4.
9. Okay.
Oh no, plus 9.
Yeah,
D20
that's my
plus
spell
9.
attack. Oh, the modifier's
Yeah.
4. Sorry. Modifier's 4, spell attack is 9. I was trying to cheat.
Well, no, you would use the 9, I'm pretty sure. Because it is technically the spell attacking him,
Plus
all right?
What's the spell level? Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus 9.
Okay. Good.
Gross.
15
Yeah.
to hit.
15 to
Oh, he
hit.
gets advantage. He gets advantage because he's
Yeah,
hitting.
He does get advantage. Yep.
Oh. Come on.
D20 plus
Come
9.
on, dice. Oh, much better. Much, much better.
15 plus 9 is a lot. It
17
hits.
plus
26.
26.
Yeah.
Um,
It's well
okay.
over its full cover.
So it was a D10. I don't have the spell
D10.
up. It.
Yeah.
D10 plus 4 plus 4.
D10 plus 4 plus 4. Come on, D10. Ah,
And that's
not bad.
bludgeoning.
12, 16.
16 points of damage to the thing, and the glow disappears. You know where the creature was, and you know that it was being held, but it is no longer visible because it's no longer glowing under the sand. But you do know where it was, so it is, for all intents and purposes, held right there until Morium's turn. And that would be its first hit. You want to take a second hit?
It gets 2 attacks.
Let's just hit where he hit before. We can assume he didn't
Since
go far.
you know where it's at because you know it's being held, it's not going to be a disadvantage because you still know where it's at.
All right,
You know it's not moving as of right now.
Would it not count as being prone for this purpose, for your melee?
Well,
Whoa,
it's
did
being
everything
held, like,
freeze? It looks
paralyzed.
like everybody froze. Looks like my internet.
You froze. We did not.
Can
She
anybody
rolled a
hear me?
Dirty
I
20.
can hear you.
Yes.
No,
Hello?
You can't hear
still
him?
can't hear you.
I can hear him. Oh, now we don't hear him at all.
Boom, boom, boom.
So I hit 12 to hit. 12 plus 9.
8. Oh, plus 9. Sorry.
Yeah,
21.
indeed.
Actually, it says slam is hit 1d10 plus 4 plus spell level. That would be 8 plus 8, not your spell level.
Right, but
spell's
the
level.
12 was to hit.
Yes, you hit the dirty 20.
21.
21.
I just said it.
Yes.
It says, the spell says 1d10 plus 4 plus the spell
No.
level.
I rolled a 12 plus the modifier, right? Or not the modifier, the spell attack. Or is it the modifier? What do I use to hit? Like,
In the
I got to roll
targets-
to hit.
In the elemental stat block, it says
Mhm.
slam 1d10 plus 4 plus the spell's level. So that's 8, not 9. 8. So you have basically you have a plus 8 to hit.
That's for damage?
Plus 8 to hit and plus 8 to
Okay.
damage.
Okay, I get that. So it's plus 8. Okay. So it's plus 8 for both. Makes it nice and easy.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry,
it.
internet. Waved
Welcome,
again.
Pat.
No,
It's back on.
You got by Nomad by Remedy.
Yeah. I was like, can anybody hear me? No?
We can hear you.
Crap. You good?
Oh yeah,
I could,
We
yeah.
don't hear the top of your head, but yeah. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so what was the second hit? Because I didn't.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
All right,
Dirty
that's going to
20.
hit. And damage on that.
Let's roll up now.
The sand is getting a little muddy from the water.
11.
11.
11. Is the sand bleeding yet?
The sand is definitely getting watery. You can't really tell from this distance if it's blood or if it's just water from the elemental, but it is starting to turn into a muddy mess.
Okie dokie.
There's not a crimson color to it yet, as of yet, but it is. There's a lot of water or something.
That is
right.
all for me.
Next up would be the worm. The worm is going to do nothing. And then after that, you see the orc. It sees the water elemental. It sees the worm. It's just gonna, or it doesn't see the worm, but it knows where the worm is, and you said it's not moving, so he's just gonna fire in that general direction with a crossbow.
So
He's going.
no, Remethy said so. A very dirty 20.
Yes, very dirty. Is he
And
watching?
sandy.
Dirty,
Pretty.
dirty 20.
Oh. Is he watching?
Can't imagine rolling dice in the sand. That would just
In honor of you,
Yeah, he's
Nomad, I turned on the stream for you because I know you can
Okay,
today.
awesome.
So I made up a quick blurb. It's not quite to your standards, but it works. It's crashed only twice.
Oh, that's a lot better than mine, which would have crashed like 50 times by now. But as long as Remethy can watch, because
Remethy's listening, he's packing. So.
Oh yeah. All right. So crossbow to hit or short bow to hit. Sorry. 20 with that. Oh crap! I gotta re-pull that up. That's on my phone, not computer. That's why I can't find it. All right. With that, yes. So you see the short bow come out and just arrow flies and hits the sand. You see a little bit of a muddy, murky mess as it sinks into the sand, and it does look like it hit something. And then I also have to. So that's 2d6. Go. 7 and 7 and that. Okay, so that's all right. Ankara.
Okay, I'm going to move up a little bit just beside Cinder there. And if I can see the worm, I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
You can cast Fairy Fire in the area because you know where it's at. You can't see the worm, but you do know where it's at. Since it is
Dex 15.
Since it is technically held, I'm gonna give it disadvantage. It's a -2 anyway. Yeah, it fails. You see this thing start glowing again. What color does it glow in your Fairy Fire?
Ooh, I'm gonna make it bright green, just so that you can see it amidst the sand and such. So everybody knows any attack roll against the affected creature has advantage, and it cannot benefit from being invisible.
Alrighty. Sounds good. Anything else for you?
That is it for me. Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty. As you see this guy floating up in the air holding his loot, he's going to fly 25, 30. And he's going to look down at it and strum really hard as you see these purple waves come out of the loot and into the sand.
So a full-on guitar riff, nice.
Pretty much, yeah. And why does this thing have a minus to everything? Why did I even pick this monster? It
Pity.
fails.
It's pity. Straight up pity.
And you see the monster still stuck in the same like wiggly looking thing, but come up out of the sand and just sit there frozen still, as it does take some damage.
Paralyzed.
Now you can see that there is blood everywhere on this thing. But yeah, the reverberations brought it out of the sand, and it is bleeding profusely. From the sky, you see that on that. You see a bolt of fire fly from the just this general area of the sky, and that is
Okay.
a attack bonus. What is his ranged attack? +6. So yeah, that's a dirty 20. And now that it's out, it will definitely hit, doing 1d10, 8, 12. That is not a d10. This is a d10. Doing 2 points of damage. All right, next up, Moriam.
Okay, I'm going to run to there, because that's my full movement, and I'm going to cast Firebolt.
All right, cast your firebolt. As you step into the murky, muddy-looking sand, your feet start to sink a little bit.
Okay.
29 is definitely going to hit. 2d10.
If that doesn't hit, then Cinder's looking for a god.
All right. How do you want to do this, Moriam?
I am just going to keep holding on to the monster and put a hole right through it with a bolt. Straight through.
All right. As Moriam runs up, slides in the mud a little bit, starts to kind of sink in, he whirls his hands and casts this firebolt that shoots straight through the side of the monster as you see this purplish ichor fly in the air, and the monster is dead. Dead.
Well, we have an elemental just in case.
I released the the hold.
It just flops to the ground. You see it just kind of flop and curl in on itself. And the elemental is always under your control. It doesn't ever just lose control of it, does it? Nope. I don't see that in
Lost
this.
for an hour.
Yep, you got it for an hour, so it's just chilling.
He's just chilling like a villain.
I wonder if he tastes good.
You lick the elemental?
I'm gonna lick the elemental.
All right. Make a constitution save.
Alright. I'm worth it. Worth it.
That water's whooping fast.
27. You stick your tongue in there, but you hold yourself strong as that water just whips across your tongue. And tastes like fresh spring water.
I've done worse. It's good.
It hurts a little bit, but it's like a fire hydrant just hit your tongue.
It's like drinking from the fire hose. I've done this before.
And it falls down to the ground, and you see the human kind of flutter back down to the ground.
Isn't that cute?
But as he flutters back down towards the ground, you see his colors kind of 50 as he comes down, and then as he lands, it all goes back to just human looking.
I look at him and I say, "So are you going to just drop the disguise now that we have fought the same thing, and then we'll probably have to get you out of the muck?"
Think the disguise is better for now. Not necessarily for you guys, against you guys, or for all purposes, just in case somebody's watching. You never know when somebody's watching through any means, magical or non.
This is
Which
okay.
reminds me, I tie my bags up tight.
All right, bags are tied up tight. And
I forgot something. Magpie, how much money did you give Cinder?
150 credit gold.
Gold, gotcha. Is that a new currency? Gold?
Mm.
No.
yeah, everything's going to credit now.
Oh, welcome to Star
What
Trek.
about
Crypto.
like platinum credit? What would that count as? Is there just like
Hey,
one currency, the credit?
yeah, it all just turns to credit.
They're not like imperial or anything, are they?
Ugh,
No,
stupid things.
no, it's a 1-for-1 exchange, unfortunately, for all credit.
Hey, the
But
gold standard works. I don't know why we're going to sway from it.
yeah, I mean, copper. If it goes to credit, everything is a 1-for-1 change, even the copper.
Cool.
So what you do is you trade all your gold in for copper real quick. All right. With this thing dead, the other party kind of gathers, and you see the wispy shadow kind of reappear and take place up front as the human does as well. This time the orc is going to ride in the back, and they go, you hear, "Thanks for jumping in on that. We'll get you next time." Um,
Coin to see who gets to check the corpse, see if there's anything of any value.
I'll sift through.
Orium's going to sift through.
Morium's the closest, you know. So.
Go ahead and
Can always-
investigate, and I'm sure with advantage, because I'm sure somebody's going to give you advantage on that.
I would assist.
Yes.
Okay. There's going to bed. All right, so a 14, sifting through this long, 5, 10, 15, 20-foot coil of a worm.
Gross.
You're looking through, and what you find is a bunch of bones, a bunch of long, spindly things on the end of its mouth, and skin.
I will take small chunk of this sandworm and the 2 teeth because I'm sure
2 of the long,
the
sharp
top.
teeth.
Yeah.
You think it's edible?
No, I'm just thinking of a possibility of rare component for wizard.
I'm going to check my Roswell 51 cookbook to see if there's any sandworm recipes.
This is a good idea. We have lots of meat.
Flip through the
Right.
book.
Breaking out the cookbook. I like it. As you look through there and you're flipping through and you're like, all right, sand shrew, sand shark, sand, ew, sand people. And you just keep flipping through snake, fox.
Right to
You
Sharknado.
don't see anything saying that it's good or not good.
Damn.
I'm okay then.
Do we want to risk eating this thing?
I'm
I
not
mean-
that hungry. And you know,
Not
you know
that
me.
hungry.
I'm always hungry, but I'm not that hungry.
Okay, let's skip this one.
Good idea.
I'm okay with that. But we may find some use or some sale for these teeth and some of the skin because it is different. You know, this
It's
is
a very
richer
interesting texture.
Yes.
All right. As you gather your couple of teeth and your skin, and everybody gathers back up onto the carriage, we're going to take a small break before we head off on the third leg of the journey.
Okie dokie.
Alrighty.
Good.
Be right back.
We're back.
Good.
She likes her duck.
No, I'm not eating the party.
Pretty good.
If they go down and they're not resurrectable, why waste the good meat?
No. No.
Pretty good.
I mean, Morium's going into this world eaten. He's going to go out of it being eaten.
No.
I mean, Morium's going into this world eaten. He's going to go out of it being eaten. Get to the next town, find yourself a nice hot bath, and sit in it for a while. Make yourself some turtle stew. I don't know if you want what comes off that turtle though. Sit in it for a while. Make yourself some turtle stew. I don't know if you want. Alrighty.
You went live already?
No, we go after the cinder first. She is the rabbit. Rabbit is tender, not so gamey like the turtle.
Turtle comes with its own bowl though.
Don't even. But you know what? Everything tastes like a magpie because everything tastes like chicken.
Alrighty. So you killed the sandworm. You got some meat and some teeth from the sandworm. If anybody gets venture enough to try and eat the meat, let me know. And you're back on the carriage, heading back on along the way. All right. Heading on along the way, the road seems a lot smoother now that there's not rumblings of earth underneath you. A giant sandworm starting to coil its way up out of the earth. And you guys get going for a while, and you see the carriage pull off once more. And camp is being set up. Where did my maps go? I have them organized, but even my organization isn't good. All right, so camps are being made. Where is carriages? You guys have a carriage. Carriage is off over here a little bit more. And these guys are all just kind of sitting over by their carriage. Hanging out.
Hanging out, being cool. Gotcha.
Yep. Alrighty. So same watches as last night?
Yeah, I can take last watch.
I'm gonna only take one watch. I don't know if we just want to do 2 watches from our group, where it's just 2 people on the first watch, 2 people on the second watch. That way, we're not spreading ourselves out too thin and getting exhausted.
Can do that.
That doesn't work.
Do we get a long rest out of it?
No.
If you guys only want to do 2 watches and you communicate with the other group, they might be amicable to take mid-watch. That way they can all rest and all be up for that mid or last watch, whichever one you want. There's still 3 watches to be done, but they can work with you guys now that you guys are kind of out in the middle of nowhere, more away from prying eyes and people.
Do we want to do that?
Or we could do an overlap in the middle.
Yeah.
If we do an overlap in the middle, we're good. Because you don't have to be sleeping. You just have to be completely resting.
Resting. Yeah.
Let's just do
All right,
2 watches.
I'll take the morning again.
2 watches, and they'll be 6 hours each, and they'll overlap.
Sounds good.
I'll
All
do
right,
first
so who's
watch.
on the first one? All right, so we have an Ankara. Who's with Ankara on the first one? Turtle? Magpie? And Cinder on the second? All right. And these guys will kind of be up and down. They'll take their watches separately to kind of break up the 3 watches, and that way somebody is awake at all times. All right, so first watch comes up. Magpie and Cinder are down. Moriam, Ankara, and the human are awake. Human, air quotes. So roll them. Perception checks.
It's a 15 unless you want to help out, Maureen. Oh,
15, 12, and actually, okay, never mind. I thought it was gonna help me. All right, so you guys are all kind of sitting around. Human kind of comes over, and he walks over to the camp, kind of gives it a nice little circle, comes over by Moriam, and he says, so you saw that back there, eh?
Well, yes.
Yeah, I'm normally pretty good at hiding myself
So
from.
when he does that, I go and look like him.
He goes, oh, dang, nice trick. Me, I'm more natural with it. And he kind of changes the shades of his face to be a little darker, has his eyes kind of changed to a different color. And what you see before you is a changeling.
Oh,
He kind of
interesting.
goes, yeah, a lot of people don't like my kind up away from the
That makes sense.
Bay South.
No, it's okay. No, mine is I was part of circus in the past, and I did not want to be sideshow freak, so I wore a costume. Mainly, my look was like halfling, kind of like Ankara, but I, uh, I eventually, when I met Cinder and Magpie, when we realized Magpie wasn't trying to kill me, then I showed him that I could be okay in Turtle. It's good.
Oh, good. And you guys do all right for yourselves?
We are scratching out a living. We are trying to figure out our way around here. We've got some friends in Vegas, and we've been away from them for some time now. We're going back to say hello. We've got a semi-permanent lodgings there with these people, so it's good.
That's good. That's good. Good to see you guys are doing all right. I can see you guys can handle yourselves. You made pretty quick work of that thing. We barely even had to lift a finger, which was kind of nice for once. Most of the time, the people that go with us, we're doing all the heavy lifting.
Oh, we generally can take care of ourselves. We haven't been in over our heads yet. I'm not saying this is not going to happen, but we've gotten lucky on a couple of occasions, and I do say lucky because we, if you look at some of the armor that one of us wears, we wear one of our spoils of war. We had an encounter with a blue dragon. Wasn't it
I saw the
particularly?
blue shimmer. I
Yeah,
wasn't completely sure if that was blue dyed or if that was real.
no, wasn't a particularly old dragon, but yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. It presented itself like I think you called it a something like goat. What was it, Ankara?
drag the goat.
A dragla goat. It had some mind effect on them, and I was lucky enough to resist it, and they saw a dragla goat. Don't ask me what it looks like. I don't know. Ankara, you
Never
can.
seen a Draglagoat.
Draglagoat.
Never heard of that one before. That's definitely a new one.
I'll just start rocking and shake. It looks like a Draglacoat.
She gonna be all right?
I don't think they took it very well. It was a fairly traumatic experience for them. So,
Uh, well,
so what is the story with you and your compatriots?
me personally, I went to college. Grew up in a small town up in the Northeast. I think it used to be called New Hampshire. Um, and grew up there. Had a love of music. Went to college. Uh, College of Eloquence. I pledged and got out of college and found out that yeah, there's not much opportunity um, for learned bards in the limelight, considering you still have to travel and word of mouth and things.
Hmm.
I was fairly popular where I was at, but I was tired of sitting there, so I went out looking for somewhere new to play, something new to look at, new people, new things. Kind of always hid myself away from the standard crowd, but that's hence the visage. My name is Drock Reese, actual name. Um, but ran into needing work, ran into our fellow boss, McGregor. He put me to work, and I guess he saw something in me. And we've been doing runs for him, uh, making money here and there. He pays really well. Can't really fault it. But I did hear that been wanting to go to Vegas. I heard that one of the local uh, bandit groups got taken out, so we're headed there to see what's left of it and see if we can help pick up any pieces or anything. Uh, Maybe
Bandit
take
groups,
over.
or do you mean like the what's it called? The like the thieving guild?
Yeah, those things. They called themselves a thieves guild, but they were really just a group of bandits. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't have any actual experience, just a strong hand and dumb of mind, apparently.
Yeah, he was a blowhard. We took care of him.
Oh, you know what happened? Please tell.
Oh, not my story to tell. That would be something of the magpie. I encourage you.
Oh,
Ask him. He will tell you a good story. He does spin a very good yarn. I, on
I'll
the other
definitely
hand,
have to do that.
I eat. That's what I do.
Eat, you're really good at disguises. Hey, they can go a long way. Get you
True.
into all sorts of cool places and weird trouble.
I would say weird trouble follows us. That would be good for us. Yes. But talk to Magpie
Well,
in the morning when he wakes up. I highly encourage it. He'll have a interesting story for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But don't forget, ask Cinder about, and this is near and dear to my heart and stomach. His Sure family makes the best baked goods that anywhere in this lower part of this continent. I swear, it's the best food I've ever had. I have some here. Hang on, what that? I go on. I reach into my bag. About here, try one. Give him a hand pie.
he grabs it and looks at it, inspects it. Hmm,
This one is
looks
fruit.
good to me. Fruit, you say? Okay. Takes a bite of it, and all of a sudden his eyes light up, and you can see color. The colors of his face start kind of changing into reds and purples, and little chromatic flare goes across it, and he's like, "Oh my god, takes me back to my nana's pies."
See, it's good, right? That's Cinder's recipe. Her family makes these things. They are just outside Vegas. beautiful little commune of people. She has she's a rabbit and lots and lots of brothers and sisters. I lost count after 7, 6, 7, 10,
He's talking
12.
about the little pop-up village that came outside of Vegas.
A whole bunch of little cinders there.
Yeah, I didn't make a connection at first, but we traveled through there during one of our runs and stayed at the inn. They were nice folks. We didn't cause any trouble or anything, and we just rolled on through. We just had to make a stop. It got late before we got to our destination. But you guys seem to be some good folks. Glad we can have each other's backs out there. Most of the time, he hires people, and as soon as the first sign of trouble happens, they dart and run, and then we got to deal with them and their carriage and their horse and our carriage and our horses. How do you think we ended up with 5 horses at the front of ours?
That makes sense.
Yeah, the ogre, he can be a little brash at times, but he's a nice guy, warm heart, trying to make some money for his family. And the other one, honestly, I don't know. He was assigned with us. Haven't heard him say a word. Disappears all the time. I know he's around because I can hear him in my head, but I don't know what his actual voice sounds like, or if that is his voice, or if that's a. He's interesting, but he's got us out of a bunch of scraps, and he's kind of what does all the fancy stuff to the cart. I'm good at making a small illusion, or sometimes a bigger one, but dude's got some talent. Creepy and scary though.
Well, I don't much do creepy and scary, but you know, I have my things. I am a follower of Bill. I'm a follower of the Mistra. I one I've heard
I
about.
kind of saw the magic happening. Kind of figured there'd be some type of tie there. She kind of has her hand in all sorts of things. Apparently, I'm not really the religious type myself. Just play my music and sing my songs. And sometimes my songs get me out of trouble, and more times than not, they get me in a lot of it. But you guys staying up for a while? I think I'm gonna go wake up one of the others and get a little bit of shut eye.
We'll wake the others up here pretty quick, and then we'll chat for a while, and then probably go. We'll probably go to bed myself in a while. What do you think? About
All right.
2 hours or so? Yeah, we'll be around. Nice talking to you.
Well, yeah, good talking to you too. Yeah, y'all sleep good. Kind of looks over at Ankar and kind of gives a wink and he goes, "Good night, y'all." And he walks back over to his carriage and climbs inside. You see a little bit of shaking going on, and you hear this like kind of groggly as the orc steps out the back and just stands there, just kind of slumped over and half asleep. But he's waking himself up. You see him every once in a while just kind of slap himself across the face and Let me see if he sees it.
What I wouldn't give for a mage hand to help him slap himself and really make him think. Slap himself and then slap him back.
We could make some water or something so he could splash it on his face with some of our magics, no?
Too bad the elemental's gone.
Would it be funnier though if he slapped
It would have
himself
been
on
a
one side and then the
slap
mage
and
hand on the
water.
other?
2 in 1.
Here, step into this.
Yep, he's not really seeing much right now. He's kind of rubbing his eyes and stretching and yawning and looks over at you guys. Hi guys.
Is Mischief awake?
Wonderful ruckus out here.
I'm gonna go
I
snuggle
ripped
with
the-
Mischief for the night, for the rest of the night.
I ripped the
Snuggle with what?
Blu-ray.
Mischief.
Oh, So I rip the breathe right strip off my nose, wipe the drool off my face, and start the day. I've been snoring pretty hard. All
Well,
that
that's what
sand
this
in there.
was.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Magpie.
Hmm.
Waking up a magpie. You've woken up to the sound of a cinder going. Oh,
Start coffee. Will begin making my rounds.
Good plan.
I'll let them know that
No.
we didn't see anything, and bunk down.
alrighty. So Ankara's down. Moriam, you crawl into the sleeping bag, and Cinder's, or not Cinder, Mischief is down at the bottom of it, and little toes are right up there, and she kind of curls up a little bit closer. Nice and cozy in there.
I give her the soft underbelly to lean up against. It's always warm.
And she kind of curls in, and then you feel this tentacle wrap around, which kind of unnerves you at first, but then you realize it's gonna be okay.
It will be okay.
As long as nothing spooks her, you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And it is in Japan. Tentacles may not hurt you.
All right, so Cinder's up in the morning, Magpie's up in the morning, the work is over there partially awake. He's been over there for a little bit trying to get himself awake. It seems like he was in a very deep sleep when he got woken up. Cinder, you're putting on coffee?
I am indeed making special food, special coffee.
All right, food and coffee. Magpie. Eye in the sky.
Eye in the sky.
All righty, go ahead and roll me perception checks.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a 17.
And a
All
16.
righty. All righty, noted. You start getting the fire stoked a little bit more and start getting things set up and kind of laid out, and you put the coffee on. See the orc over there, and he kind of looks over and, oh, it smells good. And he kind of walks over, kind of just talking to himself. And he kind of moseys himself over here and goes around, comes over. Hey, making coffee over here?
I am. Come on over.
Oh, thanks.
I can make one extra.
I was I was out in there, man. Then he came in there and kind of kicked me awake, and oh, I mean, it was my watch. It's kind of what I deserve, I guess. I kind of overslept a little bit. That coffee smells great. Magpie, as you're flying around up in the sky, you see the orc walk over and kind of chat up with Cinder a little bit, and as you're looking out across the area. And at this moment, you don't see anything. You're kind of circling around camp and doing different patterns back and forth, looking. Roll me a stealth check.
Magpie, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah, Magpie.
That's a 31.
Alrighty, noted. All right, but yeah, as of right now, flying around in the sky, you don't really see much. Just kind of floating around, and the orc kind of looks over at you and goes, "Has he always spend time up there, Cinder?"
He likes to patrol.
Always
He's
good to have an eye in the sky.
he's very observant. Keeps us out of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could fly. That'd be cool. Maybe one of these days. Anyway, uh, so how long have you guys been doing this stuff? I guess I don't really know small talk.
Oh, we've been adventuring for a while now. Got to know
That's
each
cool.
other back a while ago and decided to hit the road and seen some pretty interesting stuff along the way.
Oh, there's definitely plenty of interesting things. Come from kind of a mid north group of us up there, and well, I didn't really fit in, so I moved myself down south, found myself some work, and well, here we are.
Here we are indeed, sipping coffee after killing sandworms.
Yeah, thank you
Such
guys
a
for jumping
joy.
in on that.
Hey, it was a great fight. Everybody
Uh,
did their best.
uh, I thought I was gonna have to jump down that thing's mouth. I don't
I
like
don't know.
going inside of things.
Yeah, I don't highly recommend going into things' mouths. I
You
may
do a
have.
lot of damage from inside, though.
Yeah, I don't really recommend it. Just gonna, just fair warning. Just fight it from the outside.
I'll think about that next time, maybe. Oh well, yeah. Thanks for the coffee. Um,
Anytime, friend.
breakfast
Name
in the morning.
Cinder. Name Cinder, by the way.
I'm a Kinthrak.
Kinthrak. Well, that's an
Uh,
interesting name. Family name?
yeah, tribal name.
Hmm.
I didn't really, I never felt attached to it, but apparently it seems attached to me. Follows me everywhere. I don't know why. Names are funny that way.
Indeed, they are.
Breakfast in the morning, so I can bring some berries or something over. I don't know. You
Yeah.
guys eat.
Why don't we coordinate our food? I can whip something up with some berries.
That'll work. Make it last a little bit longer. Maybe whenever we get back to town, we won't have to stock up as much before we head back out.
Right.
All right, sounds good. Well, you guys have a good night. I'll watch from over there and keep an eye on things, and I'll wake the other guy up. If you see some weird shadowy shit, just don't pay attention to it. I don't anymore.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing
Well,
weird to see here. Get
y'all have a
drink
good
that
night.
coffee. Wake up. We need you. We need your eyes.
Yeah, sounds good. Uh, good watch to you. And he starts walking just kind of straight over the fire. Keep walking across. Dude seems really out of it. But he sits out back for about 45 more minutes and then goes inside and see him. I don't know why I moved that over the carriage. See him go inside and you don't see anybody else come out. But you do see the door open and you see some steam uh, from this general direction. You just see the steam of something and the smell of coffee.
We can assume that this is as we have been perceiving.
Yeah, you can assume that this is the other guy. He just kind of. You can see the steam. He's not masking it. He's letting you know that he's there.
Okay.
Um, but as you guys are sitting there around the campfire, the steam eventually goes away, and sitting over next to you, Cinder, you're sitting there looking around, kind of watching where he was, and then next to you, you kind of reach over and you bump a metal coffee cup with a small note that says "Thanks." Just kind of scratched.
I'll come in for coffee.
My
And
pleasure.
Magpie flies on down, and Magpie comes down, and there's coffee for you.
Nothing on the horizon so far.
Nothing much happening around here either, except for this mystery note, but we're pretty sure we know where that came from.
Let me see.
Hand him the note.
What does it say?
Just
It just
says
says
thanks.
thanks. Yep, just says thanks. kind of scratched on there real quick and
Probably.
weird.
Probably from our traveling companions.
I think you're right.
Is the
It's
coffee
definitely
any
not
good?
Cinder made the coffee. Is the coffee any good?
It's got a hint of cinnamon to it. It's
Hmm.
it's a nice breakfast blend. Strong, but not bitter. Not quite
Go ahead
Starbucks
and
quality.
roll me a cooking check.
I can definitely do that. Okay,
The
wait,
bottom of your
burnt.
Cool.
18.
18. This thing is akin to any small town coffee shop, best coffee you ever had.
You should open a chain, call it Cinderbucks.
Ooh, that sounds very intriguing.
Good
Perhaps a
coffee.
retirement plan.
Hmm.
Call it cinder dust. All right. And as the sun starts coming over the horizon, I was watching them without any issues. As Magpie starts sounding the wake up alarm, the ogre kind of stumbles back out of the carriage and goes, "Somebody shoot that turkey!" Oh, sorry, guys, I didn't realize.
It's fine. It's all good. Magpie likes mornings.
Oh, hey, we're far enough out. Jerry, do you still want to go by these stupid names? Cause I really don't care. And Jerry goes, "Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, probably." And the ogre just kind of stares at him like a, "You're really gonna keep doing this the entire trip" type of look. And he goes, "I don't care, man." He goes, "All right. What did I say? Call him name? Duroc. Can't even read my own Duroc.
Kinthrak? Kinthrak?
Kinthrak and Drag Rice.
I didn't
Jack
get the
Rice.
other
That's
one.
it.
Drag
RIC. That's an
Drag
E.
Rice.
Drag rice?
DROCRICE.
Or Dracrice. I cannot. I think it's Dracrice.
Reese. Either way, it doesn't matter. I thought that was an E, but I couldn't tell if it was an E or a K or a C.
Well, I
Couldn't
don't
read
know
my
if
own
the
handwriting.
mispronunciation could be racist against changelings. I want to be, as PC as
Oh.
possible.
And he's like, "All right, Drock. They invited us over for breakfast. Got any berries or goodies or anything?" And he goes, "Give me just a minute." You see him kind of looking around, and he looks down at the ground and kind of moves some of the pebbles over, and you see him kind of disappear off over to the distance for a second. And the ogre kind of walks over and kind of comes over next to you guys. Said something about breakfast. He should be back with some berries or fruits of some sort here in a minute. He kind of has a knack for the outer lands and finding food even when there's not really food around. So should be back here shortly.
Can I assume we got the effects of a long rest?
Yes, you can take your long rest.
All right.
Sorry, I meant to say that.
No, that's all good. I'll mark down my food properly.
And he goes, and more than likely it'll just be us two. He just kind of meditates. He never really eats. I don't. He's a weird fellow, but he's good at what he does, so we don't question it. But Drock should be back here in a minute. For the rest of you, I'm Kinthrath, and that's Drock. We talked to some of you. I know I talked to the bunny, and I'm assuming he probably came over and talked. He can't keep his mouth shut for nothing. So, and about that time, you see him coming back with two big armfuls of like cactus fruit and aloe and just all kinds of different vegetations and things. And he was like, I don't know what of it's fruit, but it's food and it's edible.
Okay, let's take a look-see at it. And
It's-
I take it. I
brings
start,
it over, sets it down.
yeah, I start cutting it up. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna make some sort of a tart. I think that'll work the best.
Yeah. You got a little bit of prickly pear in there. You've got different small berries and things from some of the bushes and aloe and lemongrass and things like that. Like I tried it all. None of it's poison, so it's
Good.
edible. You said something about fruits, so I think there's a couple of them in there.
Looks good.
Oh, well, if you're gonna make some breakfast, sounds good. Anybody mind if I play a little tune? In the orc just kind of puts his head to his palm. Ugh.
No, go ahead.
Go for it. Show us what you're made of.
He goes, all right. This one's one from way back when, kind of one of our first at the Bardic College. And he he pulls out his lute, and he hits a button on the lute, and you see this pipe flip out. And he starts strumming the lute and playing the pipe, and sings a song of merry men and butchers' wives and Beaks and Finn and blah blah blah. It's an interesting, weird northern ramblings of many weird things, but it flows and it sounds okay. It's not the greatest, but it's passable. It's not screeches and squawks and sounds like nails on a chalkboard. And yeah, so you guys hang out, get a little bit of food, and about that time, the other two just kind of stop there and grab their head for a second. And they go, "All right, he's saying it's time to go. We gotta head out before the day gets too long on us.
So
Thank you guys for the breakfast."
so if I make 4 treats and we cut it up to divide it amongst ourselves, and each treat gives 4 temporary hit points, would everybody get 2 temporary hit points? Anybody agree?
Um, you know what? I'll allow it if that's
Anybody
what you
want
want to do with them.
a prickly pear berry tart? Gets 2 temporary hit points.
As always, Cinder, thank you so much.
I
And
decided not on to not use the aloe. I thought it would take away from the lovely prickly pear flavor. So perhaps the aloe can be used in something else.
you can use it for healing sunburns. You are in the desert.
It does make a good salve.
Yeah. And as Drac is sitting there and he's just shoving this pie in his face. He's like, "These are really good. I'm gonna have to stop by that village again sometime. If this is how they cook, oh, I could eat like 100 of these things. I see where you get it, man." He's just shoving this thing in his face, and gets up and kind of dusts the crumbs off of him, and he goes, "Well, thanks for the breakfast. I feel nice and invigorated, ready for the day." And the orc is just kind of sitting there like, "Oh, dude, come on, we gotta get going." And he's like, "All right, well, thank you for breakfast. Thank you guys for your hospitality. We're gonna get on that cart. You guys get on your cart, and let's head down the road." And they head off over to their cart and get all up on it. They're like, let's keep the distance just in case. It kind of worked out for us last time. Worked good. So we're gonna head up front, and you guys just follow back behind again. And they crack the whips, and they're on their way off. you guys have time to get all your stuff together and get it packed away and talk amongst yourselves while they're heading off for the moment.
We'll pack it up and get going.
Well, they seem friendly enough. Anybody have any thoughts about our little ragtag group of travelers?
Everything
No.
that the first guy was telling us was doesn't really know anything about that third shifty fellow.
Worth watching.
Good idea. They like coffee.
To Magpie's recollection, job only entails getting cargo to Las Vegas, not the other guys.
Oh,
Good to know in case something goes south. The other two seem nice though.
Friendly enough.
So you guys load up and follow along, keeping the same kind of distance as before. You guys head off and on this third day of travel?
Yes.
Third day of travel. Who wants to roll?
Moriam, you roll. I'll go next.
just D20?
Yep, just D20.
Lucky 13.
13. Sounds good. All right, you guys are heading along, just kind of moseying along. Seems like Mischief got some really good sleep last night. Nice and cuddled up and kind of riding along and just kind of bobbing his head, and see his tentacles every once in a while reach over and grab something off the side and eat it. Doesn't really know what it is, but it looks like food, so he eats it. And then as you guys are traveling along, sun is shining, sky is bright. Looks like a clear day of travel.
I'm going to actually give some of those treats to Mischief because Mischief has been neglected.
Mischief isn't really reluctant. What type of treats are you giving to Mischief?
That's the ones from Roswell. The meat treats
The
from the stable.
dragon treats or the meat? Oh, from the stable master?
Yeah.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll me a wisdom save.
20.
20? Seems good. Mischief grabs the treats from you and seems happy and content. Snacking on the treats, batting them around the bottom of the carriage a little bit, and kind of playing around, feeling cat-like. Jumps up on a shelf and knocks something off of it just because he can. And nothing important, just a small tin can. Bats it around the floor a little bit. All right. And this day of travel goes by without any issues. You guys making camp again for the next night? Same type of watches. Go ahead and fast track this a little bit. All right. First watch. Who was on? Ankara and Moriam. On your first watch, you see same rotation. The humans out there. He's kind of doing his own little thing, tuning his instruments and playing with them as you guys are keeping your watches, and everything goes nice and smooth. And You see him about 2 hours before your watch-ins. He goes in and gets the ogre out. Or I keep changing it. He's an orc. I don't know why I keep saying ogre. He gets the orc out, and he jumps out. And this time he's not as tired and sleepy. He actually feels Taylor kind of feels pretty good. He kind of gets up, kind of jogs in place, and kind of waves over at you guys, and gets ready for his watch. And the watches end onto Cinder and Magpie. Magpie goes up in the air, does his circling around, doesn't really see much on the horizon, and morning comes with a long rest.
Okay.
Right. Fourth day of travel. Heading out, Cinder is the only one who hasn't rolled yet.
Woohoo!
I'm going to do green and blue for you.
It's always a good one. 12.
12. Ooh. Close. All right. As you guys get going down the road, and Magpie's up doing his magpie thing, and you guys are kind of following behind the other cart. The other cart comes to a complete stop in front of you. And do you guys slow down behind it, or?
I think that's probably a good idea.
All right,
I'd say
you
we
guys
just full stop.
full stop. You guys full stop. As Magpie, you see coming in the sky once again a giant bird.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dive.
Dive. It is about, I'd say about 100, about 120 feet out right now. It's out a ways. So you start diving straight down towards the ground. Diving at an incredible speed, you get down to the caravan before the giant bird gets there.
Incoming. Giant bird.
You hear in your head, Magpie, you hear, just sit still, it'll pass, don't worry.
Get out of Magpie's head.
Don't hear anything else.
Do we duck under the caravan? What should we do, guys?
I think I'm going to. Is there any way that I could just pet the horses and encourage them to be calm?
Yeah, do animal handling.
I could prestidigitate like a calming scent for them if you wanted, so that you could like get help if you need it.
That's good. That's good.
I'll allow it.
Apples.
Apples and fresh hay. Yeah, but they might get excited if they smell that.
Well,
Apples.
try anyways. You
You're
can get
gonna calm them
advantage on
down,
that.
so-
Yeah, 25 on animal handling.
All right, they do seem to be pretty calm as you're kind of ducked down, just kind of petting them. And, be okay, it'll be okay. Stay still, stay still. What's everybody else doing?
Helping Cinder.
Helping Cinder.
Help
staying,
help magpie. Help mischief.
I'm staying
Make
ready.
sure that mischief stays still. Help magpie or help magpie. Help mischief.
Oh, as the bird flies and chokes the crap out of the DM. The other carriage, you see no movement, no signs of anybody inside or outside. They're just kind of, they're all kind of, everything's quiet and still. It's this thing you hear getting closer and closer. Right. It's getting closer, getting louder. It's about right over the top of you guys right now.
Can we see it?
As you look up, you can see it.
Mm,
You see a massive wingspan, close to about 100 feet across.
Jesus.
Or is it feet? Let me reread that.
It's not gonna be
Yeah.
yards.
And this thing is huge, and you see the sand start lifting up as it starts going higher and higher and higher as it disappears into the clouds. And a few minutes go by. You see a head poke out of the other carriage and look back at you guys. He kind of shakes his head a little bit, and he's like, "I think we're good. It's a rock."
Mhm.
rock.
A varrock
Rock.
or a rock?
Pretty sure it was a bird.
No. Rocks are very big birds.
Understood.
Do you think it'll be safe for us to go now?
Most likely.
Yeah, I say we're good. It's up over the clouds. You can see small movements and things, but the clouds will make it very difficult. So I say we skedaddle before it comes back this way.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll keep leading, and you see the horses start moving again, and they start going along their way, and you guys start going along your way. Yeah, this one's about a medium-sized rock, apparently.
Great.
But you guys keep moseying along your way, and as you're getting closer, you're going through and going through. You start seeing some lights and things in the distance. In front of you is the city of Vegas.
We're here.
Good.
Hi.
It's
This
starting to
place.
get a little, it's starting to get a little duskish out. It's starting to get a little darker, but you guys have made it back to Vegas. And let me pull that map up real quick. Map. Oh, have it under the subsection of Vegas. And you guys are coming in again from the south. This time, Emporium puts his there. What in the world is this invisible dot? You guys are coming in from the south. Carriages in tow. You guys kind of pull over with the other group, and they go, "Well, it was good riding with you guys. The boss told me to give you this if we make it to Vegas with you." And he tosses a coin purse up in the air.
Who snatches it? I'm a snatcher.
You're gonna snatch it? Cinder snatches it out of the air and kind of lifts. He said, "It's the other half of the payment he promised you, and you guys get some time. We're gonna be going to the Owlbear Inn, I believe is what it's called. It's on the other side, or Golden Bear Tavern. That's what it's called. Other side of the city. Said you're from around here. You probably know where it's at. Owlbear? Is it Golden Bear? Which one is it?
I think it's owl.
Yeah, this one is Owlbear.
Yeah, that sounds right.
If you get bored, come find us at the Owlbear. We'll buy you a drink or something.
I think we might
They
just do
kinda
that.
head off in their own little direction. You see them kind of heading off towards the arena area, parking their, moving their cart along with them. And out of sight. You guys heading on over to, where are you heading?
What's exciting in the city? I've never been here.
I think we should go rest up, no?
Perhaps check in with Fabio and
Yes.
crash at his place.
Well,
Yeah, do some introductions. Ankara's never met the great Fabio.
Yes.
I might head to the
Alrighty, so
Oliver after that
Yeah, we can go there after. For a drink.
for a drink or two.
Mhm.
Or 12.
well, so you guys go to the local stables, and they're like, "Oh, see you're back. Nice to see you didn't get eaten up out there. You putting your horses here for the time being?
Yes.
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect. Got it down in the books. We'll take good care of them for you. These are different horses than you left with.
There's a exchange that happened, but they're
Well, these
healthy.
look
They're
like better horses anyway.
very good horses.
Alrighty. If you need anything, you know where they'll be. We'll take care of them. Might even give you a little spit shine on your carriage there. And you guys head off over towards Fabio's house. Fabio the Great. Why is his name way up there? All right. So as you guys are walking through the city, it seems to be like any other city. People kind of walking around. You see some people in some funny hats and funny costumes. You see some of them handing out flyers here and there. You see all kinds of different people, from elves to cats to orcs to whatever. You see them there. And as the party makes their way down the road and over towards Fabio's house, I'm just going to move Morium's token over that way. You kind of wind through some of the buildings. Ankara, you're kind of following, and you're seeing that there's some interesting architecture here. You see a building over here, kind of in the shape of a pyramid, but it's all in like marble and nice colors. And from the inside, you can see lights flashing and noises being had. You see some residential areas, nicer houses and things. You see some shops here and there. You see signs that say horse races, come fight in our arena, come to the casino, shows daily, 2 for the price of 1. Just different signs that say all sorts of different things that you may or may not know what any of it means. But it's flashy, it's lights, it's pretty. And as you get over to Fabio's mansion, what you see in front of you is a tall 2-story mansion. The outside has tall pillars in the front and multiple windows all around. You see to the side there's a cellar door. You see I'll show you what the outside looks like. The mansion.
There we go.
Yep, back to the mansion. Yeah, you see windows along the outside, rooms. You see that it's. Did I say 2-story? It's 3-story.
Yes.
The 3rd floor. 3-story building with tall pillars on the front. Nice entrance and everything. And on the front of it, you see shows daily. Fabio the Great. But you don't see times. The times seem to have been taken off. As you walk up to the front door, walk up, open, Morium, you open the door.
Yeah, I'll open the door.
All right, as you open the door and walk inside, the house is lit with torch lights along the walls, two big statues of angelic creatures on each side, big overhang up top, and dual staircases coming up each side. You guys have been here before. You know the layout of the house on Kara. This is a huge mansion.
It's a TARDIS. It's
Kind
way
of,
bigger
yeah.
on the inside.
Welcome to Fabio's mansion, Ankara.
This place is massive. Do you know your way around?
Yeah, we've stayed here before.
I'm
Oh,
going
We
to
can
take
do
the
a
blue
tour.
room. I'm going to the blue room. I go upstairs.
Yeah, we've stayed here
All
before.
right. Let me make sure there's no other people's character tokens here because there are not doppelgangers here at the moment. Get rid of that.
The only one I saw was Ezio.
Yeah, I took him off of there. Yeah. Why is Johnny and Frank? Sorry, I'm remembering things as we're entering into this place because I haven't looked at this map in a while.
Are those
Ankara is
Are those dudes still in that
Forever.
time warp?
We'll explain it to poor Ankara.
Cinder, Magpie. You guys all walk inside, and yeah, this place is massive. And Morium goes, "I'm heading up to the blue room," and darts off up top. Is coming out from a side door underneath the stairs. You see a flying cauldron come out, and it kind of looks at you guys, and kind of tips its head, a little bit of liquid spilling out, and it goes, and it darts back off to the kitchen.
What?
And
None of us knows it's a cauldron.
and then yeah, the house is yours to go explore wherever you may want to go with them. No one has been no one has shown themselves or anything besides a leaky cauldron.
I'm gonna stick close to Cinder now that I know that there are flying objects in this house. Yeah, I'm
Cauldron.
just stay by you.
Okay. Let's are you staying in the blue room? No.
Oh, I just put my stuff in the blue room. That's all.
Oh, you're putting your stuff in the blue room. Well, we could take a little walk-see about. You know, the basic layout of the place, if you will. Let me see what would be a good place to start.
I'm gonna go tell Fabio we're here. Just say,
That would be fantastic.
All right, as Cinder's trying to figure out where to start, Morium, you walk into the library, and the owl kind of greets you, and oh, hello there, you're back. Yes, he's sitting at his desk in the back. If you're looking for him, and flies back off into the book stacks.
How? Jesus. Owl.
Who?
Yes. You. Who
Oh.
you?
Oh, yes.
When he's free and he does do not disturb him because he's always reading something, let him know that we have returned from our trek down, I guess you could say, south and east, and we'll speak to him when we get back, when he's finished.
Okay.
And
it flies off.
We'll meet him in the drawing room. And that's where I go.
Gotcha. And it flies off.
Because I'm going to go watch TV in the drawing room.
That's where I was going to take Ankara. I figured drawing room might be a good start.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Magpie, what are you doing?
I'm going to be hanging out in the drawing room, watching TV.
Alrighty. Magpie darts off, heading off into a direction, and you guys start following behind. As you walk into this room, Ankara, you see over in the corner a piano. You see a couple of tables with chairs. You see some nice, lavish lounges, a couple of high back chairs, nice table, big old fireplace with some books to the side. And above it, you see a weird, strange box with moving images on it.
What is this, Cinder? What is this illusion?
I forget what we've called it. It had
That's
a
a good
name.
question.
Was it people vision?
Television.
There's
Well,
a lot of different. I think Scryavision was one of them. I think People Vision. I
Scry
think
vision. People vision.
Scryflix and Chill.
Scryflix and Shield. That's what it was. That's it. We ended on that one. So it's well, Magpie, when we first got to town, met some very unscrupulous people, and they were jerks to us. So we devised the trap, and with the help of Fabio now has a endless time loop where they are running around doing things inside.
They were the former heads of the local thieves guild.
There you go.
And as you look up at the Scryavision, Scryflix, what you see is you see two guys in some dark black leather outfits running around, arms flailing like a cartoon, running through this hall as one of them steps in a bucket and falls over. Another one runs and climbs up a ladder, and the ladder starts falling backwards. So he moves himself and it kind of stands straight up. He kind of starts walking it, and then all of a sudden the rungs break out from in front of underneath him. You see another guy run out of the room, tripping over the guy on the bucket that fell out of the bucket. And this whole time, there's just this soft piano music going. What you're
Reminiscent
seeing
of
is
Benny
the
Hill.
fantasy version of a Benny Hill skit.
Yes. This is
What did we
slapstick.
call it again? Scryflix and Chill?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, scrying vision, scryo-vision, scryflix and chill.
So it just dawns on me. Cinder has been thinking her cognitive function's not the same as it used to be. And what if we just did a very bad thing by bringing something here or assisting bringing something here that could disrupt our lifestyle with Fabio?
What are you talking about? You're being cryptic.
Well, what if the other caravan had something that could possibly be here to interrupt Fabio's great lifestyle and the lifestyle we are afforded here?
They've been coming and going for some time.
Biz is biz.
All right. I'm just worried.
No. This is not their first run either. These are seasoned professionals.
All right. Pay no attention. Enjoy the
The
Scryflix.
only thing we may have to worry about is if they take over the Thieves Guild, then we may have some problems.
Right.
If
And with
McGregor is taking over the local thieves guild, perhaps that is for the better. McGregor seems more organized and perhaps more pleasurable to do business with. We, after all, did create a gap in power.
Mm-hmm.
alrighty, and with the Benny Hill music in the background, everyone lounging on their chairs and lounges. A animatronic cat flies into the room with some baked goods, leaving them on the table. Flying back out into whatever the room is next to it. You guys know it as the dining room. And the kitchen. Ankara has no freaking clue what else this mansion has in store. So that's where we'll end the night. Pies in hand, drinks in bellies, and everyone collapsing on their couches watching TV.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Very.
And we will pick up there next time.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, to the stream. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
And have a good night. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe. This guy, the one who's streaming it, because he's awesome. And if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, make sure to use it on somebody because they'll greatly appreciate it. And we love you guys. Have a good night.
And I'll see if there's anybody to raid. There's no
Bye.
raid. Oh, there's Mr. Hansen's up to raid, so we'll raid over to him. He's watching MLB The Show.
Oh, nice.
What
Enjoy
is
the Hanson
this?
brothers. Oh,
No, not the Hansen, Mr. Hansen.
oh, Hanson. Sorry.
And off we go.
I wasn't taking any unreasonable amount of authority as Magpie tonight, was I?
No.
Okay.
Everything sounded good to me.
How you doing, dude?
I like the setup, though.
Appreciate the fucking raid. You're in Oklahoma? Why'd you go out there? My eyes are fucking crazy fucking strange right now. I'm like seeing different things.
Not really
I feel
the
like.
kind of stream I would watch, I would say, but
He's a nice guy.
he's having fun.
He's a nice guy.
I must have played like
plays
10
D&D.
games yesterday on this.
No, not D&D. He plays World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah, the last time that we raided in on a stream, he had just found
finished
out
a
that his cousin
Dungeon
had
and
passed
Dragons?
away.
Oh no.
Yeah, Dungeon and Dragons.
He's like, oh,
Oh,
my
Disney
cousin
family.
died.
Gotcha.
Oh, there's a
Governor
raid.
Medical,
Hello,
what's going on,
raiders.
dude?
And then he basically said the amount of fucks per second that this gentleman has said. But if he's having fun, he can have fun.
Dude, the Angels just choked against the A's. FYI.
I'm actually going to close
Can't fucking
Twitch.
hit anything right now, dude.
And
This is
that
not
phone
good.
is really warm.
You know, warmed up a bit.
Let it charge
It's like
up.
going right to fucking online.
Let it charge. Let
Dude,
it
they
charge.
blew a team
Let it
or blew a game to
charge.